Hey guys, it's Jeb here, and in today's video, even if we wanted to, we couldn't ban Bitcoin, says US Senator. If the United States decided we didn't want cryptocurrency to happen in the United States and tried to ban it, I'm pretty confident we couldn't succeed in doing that. This is an interesting story that we're going to be diving into a little bit later, but before we do, we've got some technical analysis that we have to get to because today is the last day of July, and that does mean that our monthly candlestick is about to be closing, and unfortunately, for the first time since January, we're actually going to be closing a red candlestick. We're going to be talking about the implications of that later on in today's video. But before we dive right on into it, guys, I do want to remind you that we are still running that sale on the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. If you want to learn how to do technical analysis on these markets or just hone the skills that you already have so that you're more able to predict what these markets are going to do so that you're in a better position to profit in these markets, I do highly recommend the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. We've had over 700 people join the course, and they've all gotten a lot of value out of it. They've all told me as such. So if you're interested in finding out more, you can click the link in the description, and if you decide you want to join us, use the coupon code 25K2019 and you get $40 off at checkout. And guys, I do want to mention here at the outset that I am quite sick right now. I'm forcing myself to make a video because I want to get some content out for you guys. So if I am a little bit slower or a little bit off, or I say something weird or my voice sounds a little bit odd, that would be why. I do apologize. So anyway, guys, without much further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Like I said, we are actually about to close a red candlestick for the first time here in 2019 following January. We're going to get to that, but I do want to do a little bit more shorter term technical analysis since I've been gone for 2 days. Like I said, I do apologize for that. I've been very, very sick. As we can see here, not a whole lot interesting has actually happened while I was away, which is lucky because normally when I'm gone, Bitcoin decides that it wants to do the most interesting thing of the entire year when I'm unable to capture that. Luckily though, Bitcoin hasn't done that, and Bitcoin's basically just been trading sideways and slightly to the northerly direction here over the last 48 hours or so. Bitcoin is currently reaching up for and trying to test $10,000. I have a feeling that based on the way Bitcoin's been moving in these last couple of hours here, that Bitcoin is going to try and test $10,000 today. As you can see, Bitcoin's been moving to the upside ever since about the 30th of July started back over here about 48 hours ago. We've been rallying towards this. It wouldn't surprise me if we tried to test $10,000 today, and it also wouldn't surprise me if we tried to test this downtrend of resistance today, guys. Bitcoin's been in a downtrend for quite some time. If we look at the 4-hourly chart here, we're going to see that Bitcoin's MACD is actually bullish now. Bitcoin's RSI is moving to the upside. There are reasons to believe that Bitcoin might have a little bit of bullishness in the short-term tank, but also at the same time, I think the longer-term technicals are showing more bearishness. Guys, Bitcoin does look like it's about to have a bullish cross on the MACD, and I'll be honest, if that happens, that would be very bullish for Bitcoin. Perhaps we could use that to build a new rally out of the ashes of the previous one, but I'm not convinced yet. Like I've said in previous videos, I need to see more confirmation before I go and start being bullish on Bitcoin. Bitcoin will act like it's bullish all the time, but sometimes it's actually just messing with you, and Bitcoin isn't even close to bullish. Let me show you an example of that. It wasn't that long ago, back over here earlier on in July, that Bitcoin looked like it was about to go bullish. It looked like our little dip here was done. Maybe we were forming some kind of cup and handle pattern right here. It looked like the rally was coming back, and Bitcoin had just crossed bullish. But the next day, the very next day, Bitcoin crashed again, and then we went back bearish on the MACD. So just because you're bullish on the MACD, give it a few days because it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to stay bullish on the MACD. As far as I'm concerned, you have 3 points that you want to look for in MACD. You want to look for the change of color down here in the histogram, you want to look for the cross, and then about 3 bars after the cross, then you can start feeling more confident on the bullishness of the MACD. An example of that would have been back here when we crossed from red to green, which meant that the histogram was closing in on itself, the MACD line was converging closer to the signal line, then we have the cross over here, then we give it a couple days to actually confirm that cross, make sure Bitcoin isn't about to crash again, and then we're off to the races. Right now, Bitcoin hasn't even had that cross yet, so I'm not very confident on the bulls just yet. Like I said, guys, even though it does look like there may be some bullishness about to come here over the next couple of days for Bitcoin, on the longer term time frames, I'm still looking pretty bearish on Bitcoin. I don't think we're necessarily done with this correction just yet. If we are, we're still waiting to see confirmation of that. As we can see out here, Bitcoin is very clearly in a downtrend. I mean, I think that's very obvious on any time frame you look at, and it looks like here that we may be about to have a bearish cross on the weekly chart, overriding the bullish cross on the daily chart, guys. Bitcoin is quite bearish right now and has been for the last month. I still think that Bitcoin has some bearishness left in the tank, and it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if Bitcoin did have to come down here to the 20 exponential moving average, 21 exponential moving average, whichever one you decide to look at. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Bitcoin did have to come down here and test this as a level of support. I'm still expecting for Bitcoin to have to come down here to around $8,000, bottom out, and then if we're going to reinstate the rally from there, if we're going to see Bitcoin start moving to the upside, upside again, then we'll see it. Guys, sometimes Bitcoin will do this thing where it crashes a little bit and it acts like, okay, here's the bottom, now we're going to start a rally, and then it doesn't. It says, okay, here's the bottom, now we're going to start a rally, and then it doesn't. It says, okay, here's the bottom, now we're going to start a rally, and then it doesn't. Sometimes in life, what you need is you need a kick in the pants to make you do anything. And Bitcoin is no different, guys. Sometimes Bitcoin needs to have some kind of cataclysmic event to actually force the reversal. If we look out here on the daily chart, every single one of these highs, this high, this high, this high, this high, they all could have been the start of the bear market, but none of them were except for this one. One of the reasons that this one was is because we were so far overextended, and also because Bitcoin had just absolutely moonshotted, guys. I'll be honest with you, the bear market probably could have started back over here, but it didn't because we didn't have this massive correction following a massive rally like we did up here to actually begin that downtrend. Sometimes you need something major to happen in your life to force you to change, and sometimes Bitcoin needs something major to happen on the chart to force it to change direction. And the reason I'm saying that is because perhaps what we need is for a major crash down here to $8,000, a very quick one, and then from there we can just completely and totally exhaust the bears, get the bulls going again, and then start the uptrend from there. Start fresh and continue moving to the upside with the strength that we need to get back to $14,000 and beyond. But right now, guys, what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks are just half-hearted excuses for rallies. None of these ever had the chance of becoming an actual recontinuation of the rally. None of them did. They didn't. They weren't strong enough. They didn't have enough of the bears exhausted. We need to exhaust the bears. I think by going down to $8,000, we can do that. But with that all said, guys, that does still leave us with one question, and that question is obviously, what does this red candlestick mean here on the monthly chart? Is this really, really bad for Bitcoin? Does this potentially mean that we're going to see Bitcoin go a lot lower than even $8,000? Well, guys, part of the reason I bring this up is because I know starting tomorrow on the 1st, there's going to be quite a bit of content going out on YouTube and on all the news sites and on the internets and on the interwebs that this red candlestick is bad. That this red candlestick is the end of the world for Bitcoin. And I'll be honest with you, it's not good. We don't want to see Bitcoin break its streak. We had 5 green candlesticks. It would have been nice to see 6 or 7. Of course it would have. But at the same time, guys, you have to remember that markets are cyclical. You know how many times I've said that? If I were to go through and count how many times I said in the course markets are cyclical, I would run out of numbers. They don't count that high. That's a very, very important concept that people all the time forget. Markets are cyclical. And because they're cyclical, you have to have patience. You have to have patience waiting to buy, and you have to have patience waiting to sell. Bitcoin is obviously going to have a red candlestick every once in a while. It's not the end of the world. If we look back here on Bitcoin during the last bull market, what we're going to see is that Bitcoin did have red candlesticks every once in a while. It wasn't just green candlesticks all the way up. Just because we're seeing a couple of red candlesticks does not by any stretch of the imagination mean that the bull market is over. But what it does potentially indicate is that we could have more bearishness in the tank. Guys, even though I think Bitcoin is mostly done with this pullback and that $8,000, $7,500, something like that is probably going to be our bottom, there is always that chance that we go lower. People have been talking about a potential scenario where we go down to $7,000, $6,000, $5,000, $4,000, even lower. Alessio Rastani is a great technical analyst, for example. You should watch his channel as well as the one here and many others on YouTube. Always make sure you get a diversified opinion. Over on his channel, he was talking about Bitcoin going down to $4,000. Heck, he was even talking about the bear scenario with Bitcoin going down to $1,700. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think there's a snowball's chance in the underworld that that would ever happen. But at the same time, I do think that there is potential that Bitcoin could go down to $6,000, $7,000. Keep in mind that bearishness is possible, but keep in mind that in general, the technicals seem to be pointing to a small correction down to $8,000, maybe $9,000 again, and from there, we're going to start a new rally. That's at least the way I look at it. And if you guys disagree with me, good. I hope you do. What I want you to do is go down in the comment section down below. Tell me how, where, and why you disagree with me. Where am I wrong? How am I wrong? Why am I wrong? Tell me down there. Let's get a conversation going. I always like to ask for criticism, constructive or otherwise. I prefer constructive because when people criticize me, I'm able to use that criticism and internalize it. And then like the Borg, I can turn that into a part of me, internalize that criticism, and then use it to better myself. So hopefully you guys can learn something from that, and hopefully you did learn something from the technical analysis today. If you did, like I said, let's have a conversation going in the comment section down below. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and dive on into our news for today. I'm very happy to see this article. I want to see a lot more like this. In fact, I want to see another 99 articles just like this for every single other senator in the United States, because our friend Senator Mike Crapo, Republican from Idaho, has said that even if we wanted to, we couldn't ban Bitcoin. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not making fun of this guy. I'm very happy for him, but sometimes you do just wonder if everybody is aware that you are legally allowed to change your name in the United States. I'm just saying. Nevertheless, our friend Mr. Crapo said this: if the United States were to decide, and I'm not saying that it should, if the United States decided we didn't want cryptocurrency to happen in the United States and tried to ban it, I'm pretty confident that we couldn't succeed in doing that because this is a global tech and a global innovation. That's exactly what he said. I'm not going to play the video here, but I do highly recommend you go and watch this. That is verbatim what he said in the video. And as it says down here, his comments also echo Representative Patrick McHenry, who said earlier this month, there is absolutely no capacity to kill Bitcoin. Both of them are absolutely right. The United States can try to ban Bitcoin, but here's the thing. It's not going to work. Bitcoin is a global technology. It does not have the ability to be stopped by anyone. It was programmed in such a way that the only way that anyone can get any control of Bitcoin, here's how you want to do this, guys. I've talked about this, and I love talking about this. Here's the only way to have any control over Bitcoin: a 51% attack. Do you have any idea how much a 51% attack on Bitcoin costs? We're not talking about some crap coin on 300 on CoinMarketCap. We're talking about Bitcoin with hundreds of billions of dollars in mining power out there in the world. It is insane how much mining power there is out there in the United States. A 51% attack is basically where you have over 51% or 50.1% of the mining power on the network, and then because you have that, you're able to decide what transactions can go through and what transactions cannot. And with that power, you are much more easily able to, you still aren't actually able to, but you're much more easily able to actually push through updates on the blockchain. You still need something like 90% of miners to agree on an update to Bitcoin, which is why updates almost never happen. Point being, if the United States wanted any control over Bitcoin, what they would have to do is institute a 51% attack. And the United States loves wasting hundreds of billions of dollars, so maybe they will try that. But I'm pretty sure it's not going to work, because a 51% attack requires you have 51% of the hash power on the entire network. That would literally cost hundreds of billions of dollars. There's maybe 3 entities on the entire planet that could leverage something like that could cause something like that to happen. The United States, China, and maybe the European Union. If they work together, then they probably could. But guess what, guys? You can't get that many people to agree that the sky is blue. That's never going to happen. That is not going to happen in a billion years. And from the regulatory standpoint, guys, Bitcoin can't be banned by the United States either. I would implore you to look at marijuana usage in the United States. I would implore you to look at alcohol usage during Prohibition during the United States. I would implore you to look at the way that cryptocurrencies are treated in other countries where they're banned. Look at how well that's doing, guys. You know how many times China has banned Bitcoin? If we look back over here onto the charts, right around the time I was getting into Bitcoin, I remember this, guys. I was setting my watch every single week by the number of times that China would ban Bitcoin. It was like here, 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 here. Guys, we set up calendars based on Bitcoin being banned in China. Guess how much Bitcoin is being traded in China right now? Guess how much mining is being done in China right now? The government cannot stop Bitcoin. It was designed to be unstoppable. So yes, Mike Crapo, you are completely right. Bitcoin cannot be stopped by the United States. Anyway, guys, I'm going to climb off of my soapbox now. I just love talking about how the United States is completely and totally incapable of banning Bitcoin. I am a patriot. I do love the United States. The United States is far from perfect. I'm not going to say everything we've ever done has been right, but in general, I am a very big fan of the US, but it is also pretty funny to say, no, there's literally just about nothing you can do to stop Bitcoin. So guys, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for today's video. I do apologize if today's video was a little bit slower or we couldn't get to more news. I am very sick and I am not feeling very well. In the outtakes of this, in between cuts, I've been coughing like a madman. Taylor can vouch for this as she edits the video and has to listen to me sniffle and sniffle and sniffle, but that's okay, guys. I'm feeling much better than I was the last 2 days. Apologies for the missed uploads. I do want to remind you guys that we are still running the sale on the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. Guys, Bitcoin may have a couple more weeks of bearishness left in the tank, but after that, I am pretty confident that a new rally is going to form and Bitcoin is going to start moving to the upside. Guys, it is ridiculous how much money there is to be made in cryptocurrency markets. Look at this. Seriously, take a look at this. The last bull market, you know how much that rallied? 11,000% from bottom to top. You cut that in half because you're not going to call the bottom perfectly and you're not going to call the top perfectly. That's 5,500% gain with doing one trade. Just imagine what you can do if you're able to do many, many more trades and keep them profitable in general. It's extremely important that instead of investing all your money into Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum or XRP or any of these cryptocurrencies, what you do instead is you invest your money and your time in education. It's so important, especially when you're newer to the space, but also when you're more advanced in the space, that you spend at least as much time researching the cryptocurrency markets and technical analysis as you do actually doing technical analysis and trading. If you don't have a strong foundation, the house cannot stand. If you don't have a strong understanding of technical analysis and a strong understanding of how cryptocurrency markets work, how do you ever expect to be profitable? So guys, that is why almost a year ago now, I created the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, and that is why another product is going to be coming in the future that I think you guys are going to absolutely love. We've had over 700 people join the course, nearly 750 now. We're getting close to 1,000, and I get emails and messages on Discord and comments and all kinds of testimony from people that have gone through the course telling me, Jeb, the things in this course course have helped me to become profitable. They've helped me to pull back the veil and realize that cryptocurrency technical analysis isn't as hard as I thought it was. Let me give you an example. Here on how to plan and execute profitable trades, one of the videos. Let me just read through some of the comments here. These are all real people who have gone through the course and commented on these videos. You will see these when you join the course. Every single one of these videos has comments like this on it. Great video, Jeb. Thanks to you, I've learned a lot. Great lessons here, Jeb. I'm learning so much from every video. Jeb, thank you for the course. Great video. Thanks for this. Guys, I can go on and on and on. I can brag all day long, but I'm not going to do that to you. But I am going to say that if you do want to check out what we have to offer, you can click the link in the description down below. You can use the coupon code 25K2019 at checkout, get $40 off the course price, and start learning how to work in these markets so that you can then start to profit in these markets, guys. The next couple of years for Bitcoin are going to be remarkably bullish, and I do want you guys to make the most out of it, so consider joining us. Anyway, guys, that is pretty much going to do it for today's video. I do hope none of you are as sick as I am. I feel absolutely terrible, so I'm going to take the rest of the day off after recording this video. I do wish you guys a profitable rest of your day, and I do also want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.